The situation for athletes is now absolutely crystal clear. There's no shortage of supplements available on the market that have been tested exhaustively that should give athletes and stakeholders more generally the absolute confidence that the products should not lead to inadvertent positive drugs tests. What the athletes need to do is take the responsibility now to make sure that whatever supplements they're taking have been tested. And following the successful summit run by Informed Sport in Brussels earlier on this year, there's now a roadshow that's set up that next meets in Johannesburg on the 14th of August, and then again in the States in September, October, in order to make sure that we provide these stakeholders with all the understanding they need.
We started testing for supplements in 2002. Since that time, we've tested over 40,000 supplements for the presence of banned substances, working with a range of manufacturers drawn from countries all over the world. Manufacturers really, there's no mandatory need for manufacturers to have testing done, so they can set up and produce supplements and provide those onto the market. And there's no regulation around the type of testing that they need to have done. A number of very good manufacturers are out there, but there's also a number of less good manufacturers, let's say, people setting up very quickly, setting up with buying ingredients at low cost, manufacturing things in facilities that don't have good cleaning processes. All of those areas can lead to inadvertent contamination.
Well, the issue is that athletes really face a problem. Supplements can be contaminated, and you just cannot tell from the outside if that's the case or not. I think athletes have a right to use supplements, as anyone in society. Supplements are a part of society. And there's also a fundamental issue here that we ask from athletes to perform to the best of their abilities. And there are certain supplements out there that help them in that regard. So yes, it is a problem that supplements can be contaminated. And if you like sports, you should try and do something about it.
An issue with sports supplements, a major issue for any athletes that are taking these supplements that run the risk basically of failing a drugs test through no fault of their own, through inadvertent contamination of the sports supplements that they're taking.
There's always a concern. It's something that we're aware of in our programme, the coaches are aware of. It's just a matter of minimising risk. When I'm competing, I don't buy supplements abroad. If I run out, I'd rather do without my supplements than take the risk of buying something abroad and not being aware of what's in it.
Back in 2007, 2008, we purchased a range of sports supplements from the US and the UK markets and tested those and found that between 10 and 25% of those supplements were in fact contaminated with banned substances that would have caused somebody potentially to fail a drugs test.
The problem, the negative, is that the athletes themselves really need security because they don't know where to turn to when it comes to taking supplements. They are afraid that if they take a product that it contains a banned substance and that could have disastrous effects on their career.
Because the industry has moved on. We've repeated that work just recently in 2013, and in fact the results are still the same. We selected a range of popular brands from across Europe, all available within Europe, and tested those again and found around 10% of those contain things that would have been considered banned under WADA, the World Anti-Doping Agency. For the good manufacturers, if they want to ensure that their products are free from contamination and so that they can give assurance to their elite athletes and other people that purchase their products, then they need to go to a laboratory that has the necessary expertise in order to do that. And that's a laboratory that has things like ISO 17025 accreditation for supplement testing. It's a specific ISO regulation that governs how sports supplements can be tested, and so manufacturers need to look for that. They also need to look for a lab that has expertise in sports anti-doping, because the testing that's done in order to get down to the levels that we're looking for these contaminants is very, very low. You're looking at typically parts per billion, which is an order of magnitude less than, for example, where you're looking at other types of contaminant that might be covered under good manufacturing practice. So it's very important that people know what they're getting when they go and ask for testing to be done by a testing lab.